Hello, amazing humans. Welcome to today's video. And this one is a little more personal. I wanted to show up and be authentic with you. I have another video that I'm going to upload today that is talking about something I was super excited and hyped up about, but I really felt compelled, like I physically could not do this video. So here I am. And I want to talk about being a rebel. There are no rules, and you're perfect. And so, what kind of started this or prompted it this morning as I was on YouTube earlier, uploading my daily chakra affirmations and the amazing challenge. So, if you haven't seen that, go join it or check it out. So, one of the videos that popped up was like talking about there are no rules and being a rebel and doing things your own way. And so, I'm going to back up to the early 90s. Yes, I'm showing my age. And back then, I mean, I've been talking about woo woo things since I was a teenager. Like, I think I bought my first crystal, I was 13 or 14, and learned about all the properties of crystals. And when I was in high school, I wasn't like the popular girl, but I wasn't like not popular. I knew everybody, I was friends with everybody. I had a smaller group of friends, but most of the time I felt like a lone wolf. And I always marched to my own drummer, and I tried to fit in on several different occasions, but it never really felt good in my body. Like it just didn't feel authentic or real to me. And I didn't want to be fake. And so I've not really ever been fake throughout my whole life. Like it just never felt good or felt comfortable. And so again, because I felt like I was more woo woo, and that's back then it wasn't woo woo. I was just weird, or I was into things that not other people were into, or they didn't understand it, which was fine. But I felt like I was on the outside looking in, and people had put me in this box. And even for a long time, I probably put myself in that box that I am weird. Why am I different? Why can't I fit in? Why can't I, um, feel like I belong? And so I went through most of my teen years, 20s, part of my 30s, and now we're into my 40s. And so yeah, it you can feel like you're all alone when you're doing things or shifting or changing and learning about auto-shit-ism or manifesting law of attraction, law of assumption, setting boundaries. When you're changing and shifting because you've decided it's time for you to take care of you and do what's best for you, you're going to find that people don't understand. And I have been very fortunate that I have a mom, I have a sister, I have an amazing husband. My kids, they probably think I'm weird and woo woo, and they tease me, which is fine, but they love me. And so I think this video is just about, and I will probably watch it again because I know the message is for me. I already recorded and uploaded it on TikTok. And again, it was really uncomfortable for me to do so. But again, it's something that I feel is really important. And I think that there's somebody out there that needs to hear this, that it's okay to be a rebel. I actually was in a different program, and I'll talk more about that in another video, but someone made me question being a rebel or someone who marches to her own drummer or does things her way. And I don't think it was an intentional thing, but there were certain things that, and again, I was the one who chose to question those things and to stop doing those things, stop being me for a period of time. And May of 2023, this year, I honored my no. And so now I'm here on YouTube and TikTok sharing my message and my story and doing what I am in alignment with. So again, even in my 40s, I lost a part of something that I felt was kind of who I was. So, what I want to talk about is there are so many manifesting techniques and so many law of assumption videos. There's so many people out there nowadays talking about it. And back when I was doing it, we didn't have TikTok, we didn't have YouTube, we didn't even have Google. And so I can remember when I lived in Florida and I was like, okay, I'm staying home with my 3 young children. What can I do to bring in some money for myself? And I was one of the first people to actually put distant healing, like Reiki sessions, chakra balancing, and I was also doing oracle readings or tarot. Back then, it was more tarot versus oracle. And I actually put them on eBay, and I was bringing in quite a bit of money doing that. So again, I honored my weirdness and I went and did that. So I think what the message is, and again, I probably will say that several times, but there's a little bit of nuggets in here. What I want you to take from this video is that you're perfect right in this moment. Even if life is like shitty or things aren't going your way or whatever, you are perfect in this moment. If you're a rebel, if you feel like you don't belong, you do. Trust me, you do. Even if it doesn't feel like you do, just trust yourself enough to know that somewhere somebody has the information that you need. And you just have to be open to following what I call going down the rabbit hole or following the breadcrumbs or trusting your intuition or knowing that you're in the right place at the right time or that the message that you need is going to come through just when you need it. And so choose to be a rebel, choose to question everything. You are the genius in your own life. I have my story to share that may resonate with you so that it'll lead you to read a book, meet a person, watch a YouTube video. Again, where the breadcrumbs lead you is totally, that's your path. So there is no person outside of you that has more information than you or is smarter than you or that you need to put them on a pedestal because they have degrees or they have this piece of paper or they have this qualification or they have this ability. There's nothing out in this lifetime that you can't do or you can't become. It's already within you. So when you show up to learning about getting what you want, setting boundaries, cutting cords. Again, I have so much knowledge from the last, I'm going to say 20 plus, just to keep it simple because I don't want to do the math. But I have so much information to share with you that maybe not all of it's for you, but there's a breadcrumb in there. Or maybe you've heard of something before and you weren't ready for it when you first heard it, but I'll say something and it resonates. And you're like, oh, yeah. And now it's time for you to go research that or dive into it or, just connect with yourself even more on a deeper level. There are so many things I've learned that I've heard before that I was like, in the moment, it didn't necessarily make sense, but it stayed somewhere within my subconscious and within my body that now when things pop up, I'm like, ooh, let's go check that out. And there's no right technique to anything. You have to align with what is going to work for you. And so now I want to talk about like coaching. I am a coach. I have clients. I've coached clients throughout the years. I've also been a teacher for esthetician, an instructor. I've held classes and courses and webinars, and I've done all kinds of different things. And you do not have to have a coach. And again, here I'm a coach. So you would think that I would be selling to you, hey, come work with me. That doesn't feel good to me. So I auto-shit-ism my clients. Like when my ideal client shows up, they always do. And so the person that I'm going to resonate with, that I can guide on this journey, they're going to show up. And I'm going to show up in their, in their reality when they're ready for me. But you don't need a coach. You can read a book. You can watch YouTube videos. You can go to TikTok. There's so many different ways that you can learn. The thing is I want you to take back your power that you have everything that you need is within you. It's not outside of you. Outside of you is just the reality that you're seeing with your visual eyes, right? And so be a rebel and make up your own rules. So let's talk about rules. I don't necessarily have I never really followed the rules. And when I'm talking about rules, I'm talking about societal rules. Like that's probably why I never felt like I fit in because society tells you that you have to be this thing or be this person or do this, all the things. And I've never been that person. And so even when it comes to learning about Auto-shit-ism, which again is manifesting, law of attraction, law of assumption, there are no rules. Like, you have to discover for yourself which techniques work for you. And I have certain beliefs about certain things. Like, I believe that there is a connection between my mind and my body. My body is my emotions. My body holds the trauma, the experiences, the whatever. And when my thoughts and my body, when they're not in alignment, then my life doesn't go the way that I want it to. Now, could I change that belief? Absolutely. I'm still learning and growing and evolving just like you are. So today my belief is that I want and need that mind and body connection. That's why I share the techniques that I do, and why I also share not just the auto-shitism techniques, whether that be scripting, your affirmations. I don't talk a whole lot about law of assumption and Neville Goddard. I've read a portion of his stuff and I get it. There's Florence Scovel Shinn, there's Joseph Murphy, Dr. Joe Dispenza, Louise, there's so many people out there and there's so much information. And sometimes it can feel overwhelming. Like, where do I go? What do I do? And that's where I come back to the body, because when my body is in alignment, my chakras, then my intuition, I'm connected to my higher self. I'm connected to source. And those solutions or those answers, they come to me. And then I just follow that breadcrumb and go find what it is that I need for me. So if affirmations don't work for you, great. Maybe scripting works for you. Great. Again, there are no rules. You do whatever the techniques, whatever they are, make them your own. Create your own rules and how you bring your desires into your reality. Like, again, no rules. It really comes down to just trusting and following your own intuition. And yeah, I think that's just really the gist of today, just be a rebel. I'm owning, like, I'm a rebel. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And people are either going to love me or they're not. And that's okay. And I also want you to know that there are so many people out there sharing this information. Find the person that you resonate with, whether it's me and I'm going to, the next video I make, I'm going to tag two phenomenal, amazing human souls that are talking about this kind of stuff, about a specific topic anyway. And of course, it all goes back to law of assumption, law of attraction, and all the things. So yeah, that's it. I just really wanted to show up today and be authentic with you, which I'm always authentic, but just more personal, that, I know what it feels like to not feel like your life is going the way that you want it to maybe feel a little different, to maybe feel like a rebel, and a person who doesn't want to conform to what everyone else is doing or thinking or being. So I want to give you permission to do just that, that you are perfect right in this very moment. You are perfect. So that's all. Go have an amazing day, be an amazing human, and of course, always lots of love, light, and really big hugs. Mwah.